Hey everyone, it's Sarah and this is my Survivor Series review. So, Survivor Series was on the 23rd of November and it was on in St. Louis. This is the 26th of November and it's Ireland. But yeah, I got a couple of days, had a couple of things going on, so I couldn't put this up as early as I wanted to. But what I would say is that this is my review. I have made notes, so if you see me looking down, that's what it is. I apologise for not keeping eye contact, but yeah. So, first off, the kickoff show. I didn't watch it because usually kickoff shows are terrible. Let's admit it. The kickoff show is usually bad. So I didn't watch that, but what I did watch was the whole Survivor Series itself. I didn't watch it live because the time difference over here is too much. But I did watch it on the WWE Network for only $9.99. So apparently on the kickoff show, 2 people returned. The first was Fandango. Now, he's new and improved, but I miss Fandangoing. Doo-doo. Do 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 do. I think we should bring that back. Internet community, bring back Fandangoing. So the second person was, that's right, Mr. Bad News Barrett. I like Wade Barrett. I've always liked him from when he was in NXT right through to now. I just think he's great and, you know, plays the heel very well. There was 2 matches, and the second match, well, they weren't fighting. Justin Gabriel for some reason. Apparently he's still there. He fought Fandango. And then the second match was Cesaro versus his old teammate Jack Swagger. I like Jack Swagger. I like Cesaro. I miss We the People. I miss them being together. Although I did love them without Swagger as well. Or without Cesaro as well. I loved Swagger and Zeb Coulter. Even though they were massively xenophobic, they were funny. I have to say the intro video to Survivor Series was done very well. I think it was very authority led. So much more about them and about what they're going to lose and about their beatdowns of Cena's team than it was about Cena and what they could lose. If anyone hasn't seen SmackDown, before it, what was announced was that if Team Cena loses, Cena doesn't lose his job, but the rest of his teammates do. So, you know, kind of things on the line there. Vince McMahon came out. That's right, the one and only. I love Vince McMahon. Hard to believe 1997 was the Montreal Screwjob. I think that forevermore Survivor Series will be tainted with it, but it's hard to believe that it was 1997 that evil Mr. McMahon character came to be. And now here he is coming out and we all love him. It's amazing. Triple H and Stephanie, I have to say, were looking very well, as was Vince, actually, mind you. His dye job was very well. But Trips and Steph, their suits were very nice, I have to say. Such a girl thing to say about wrestling, I know. Out came John Cena to a chorus of boos almost as loud as Triple H and Stephanie. If you ask me, I think that proved that it was very much an adult-driven audience as opposed to the child-driven audience, which is usually cheering for John Cena. Funny thing was that as I was watching this, I thought to myself, you know what? I want John Cena to lose, but I want his team to win. So I want his team to come out on top, but I want him to lose. So, yeah. Was I the only one? Let me know in the comments below. Was I the only one? Okay. I have to say that Stephanie, as a heel, is brilliant. She always has been brilliant as a heel. Triple H, very good at the cocky thing, but I think he's much better when he's unscripted. Trying to say personally, and he said personably or something. I don't know. He didn't work. Anyway, that's what I'm trying to say. Now, I have to say, it was a little predictable, you know, Stephanie giving her whole speech about her being in power and, you know, Vince McMahon then coming in and saying that if they lose their power, not just on screen, but actually in headquarters, that they would become, you know, just desk jockeys and things like that. You know, bring back Shane. Shane McMahon was brilliant. I was waiting for the here comes the money. I was waiting to come out dancing. I'm telling you, I love Shane McMahon. Bring back Shane. Shane McMahon, come back to the WWE. It needs you. And oh, you know, her whole to and fro with John Cena, and my favourite thing had to be her saying that she was a McMahon, damn it, just to like her father before her. It had to be brilliant. I have to say, she really does play it well. I love Stephanie. My final thought on that whole thing, if the authority do lose their power, spoiler alert, they do, Foley for GM. Bring back Mick Foley. He was brilliant as the commissioner. Hashtag Foley for GM. Foley for GM. So the first match of the night was our Fatal 4-Way. It was for the Tag Team Championships. So you had the Usos versus Los Matadors versus Damien Mizdow and The Miz, and of course Goldust and Stardust. Side note, I really think that Dusty Rhodes should join them again. They could be Goldust, Stardust, and Old Dust for the win. Stardust's red makeup, as the match went on, made it look like he was bleeding from his eyes and ears. Whoever in the costume department came up with him wearing red, it was a disaster. The red in the actual costume itself was lovely, but the red makeup was just, yeah, it was terrible. It looked like blood. Throughout the match, I thought that it was a little bit slow at times, but altogether it was actually a really, really good match. However, I only found myself thinking, who else could possibly be fighting in this match, because they really are the only 4 teams that are left now in the tag team division, which is a little bit pitiful, because a couple of, 18 months ago, the place was flooded with them again, and it was really good because they were good teams. So it's a pity that they've lost a lot of that. The match itself, the crowd chanting "We want Mizdow" was brilliant, and everything that Miz did. Mizdow following him. I know it's been going on for weeks, but it was comical. I don't know, maybe it was the Fatal 4-Way situation, but it was even better than normal. Let me see. I do, however, miss Damien Sandow's intellectual saviour of the masses thing. I really liked that, the way he spoke down to everybody. That was kind of fun. But I have to say, I was delighted to see Mizdow picking up the win and The Miz stealing both championships. I'm sure that Mizdow will come out with 2 fake ones himself, because, you know, he's the stunt double. Then there was some advertisements. So the most exciting advertisement is on Monday, December 1st, after Raw, on the WWE Network, there's going to be a live podcast from Stone Cold Steve Austin and his special guest, Vince McMahon. I cannot wait. He's going to just let the gloves come off. I'm sure it'll be scripted, but it will probably be great, because you know what? We want to relive our childhood or our younger years, if you're not my age, because you want to see them attack one another again. Who does not want to see Stone Cold coming out in his Zamboni and spraying Vince McMahon with beer? Seriously, best moment ever. And then they had the terrible backstage segment with Adam Rose and his bunny rabbit. I mean, I'm getting really sick of Adam Rose. Am I the only one? Maybe I'm just a lemon and not a rosebud. It's stupid. And then he was interrupted by Heath Slater. Slater's going to Slate. And Titus O'Neil. And they set up a stupid match for later on in the night. So next was the Survivor Series Divas match. So that was, it was good. You know, you have Paige and Summer, Cameron and Layla were on one team, and then you had on the other side there was Trinity, or Naomi if you watch. I called her Cameron, by the way. If you watch Total Divas, she's Trinity, not Naomi. So you had Naomi, Natalie and Natalia. You had Alicia Fox. And the final one you had was Emma, you know. Yeah, Emma, who steals iPod covers. The match itself was okay. I was delighted. I think that Natty looked really well, and her whole thing with fighting with, Tyson Kidd, who was on the side, and I just thought it was really funny. I think that it really worked really well. I loved as well the fact that Naomi picked up the win. She pinned Cameron, and then I kind of skipped some of it, and then she pinned Paige for the win, and it was a clean slate, which was kind of weird. I didn't expect a clean slate. I thought Emma might get eliminated, maybe Alicia Fox, but it was a clean slate. You really, like, realistically looking at it, Natty, Naomi and Paige are the 3 strongest wrestlers in it. You'd have Layla, who would be next. To me, Layla is a good wrestler, but I think it's just that she's maybe been a bit rusty in that. And then you had Summer Rae, she was the most awkward in the whole thing. I mean, she made Emma look not awkward. That's how awkward Summer Rae was. Then they gave their whole thing about the kickoff show, which made me say, oh, whoops, I didn't realise it was going to be so good, or I would have watched it. Next, one of the matches that I was really, really looking forward to, Bray Wyatt versus Dean Ambrose. They did their whole build up to it, which was really good, and they showed all the stuff that Bray Wyatt did, about Dean Ambrose's family and everything. It was really good. 2 excellent wrestlers, so I was really, really looking forward to this match. It was a bit of a letdown in that because I thought they would do more. I thought it would be more technical and kind of heads on. There was a lot of wrestling, but then in the end, I kind of actually did like the way that they ended it in the disqualification, because they did the way, just like he taunted Dean Ambrose, the way he taunted John Cena, and I think that that really worked. And the fact that Dean Ambrose hit him, like, it's Dean Ambrose, of course he's going to hit Bray Wyatt with a chair, and the disqualification, I think it made neither of them look weak, and then it really, really well set up for the TLC match with the whole, you know, getting the ladders and the chairs and everything. So yeah, I'm really, really looking forward to that. Next was an authority segment backstage. Stephanie's acting was absolutely fantastic. I have to say, I cannot get over just how good she is. She should teach Triple H a thing or two. And then what I really liked was, like, they were started to fight and they were like, yeah, fight, fight. And Rusev was like, yeah, fight, fight. He was really into it. I just thought that was really funny. It made me giggle. So next was the boring match that I really just did not care about. And I'll be honest that I watched it, but I nearly fell asleep. And it was Adam Rose and his bunny rabbit versus Heath Slater, Slater's gonna Slade, and Titus O'Neil. I have to say, throughout the match I was looking at it, I was going, oh look, a bunny rabbit. And then I was thinking to myself, remember the gobbledygooker? Remember the gobbledygooker? I mean, I think they were talking about Thanksgiving and stuff, and I was thinking, yeah, where's the gobbledygooker? Bring back the gobbledygooker. One thing that I'm actually really waiting for is for Adam Rose to be arguing away with the bunny. And for the bunny to take off his mask and say, reveal himself to be Vince McMahon and say, it was me all along, just like he did when he was the higher power. And the reason that I'm thinking of that is because if you look at The Undertaker back then and Adam Rose now, they have the same hair and makeup, which is kind of weird. I did like the commentary. They just didn't care about the match, and they started making stupid jokes about Rabbit De Niro and Michael Cole, saying that it's just a man dressed in a bunny suit, and JBL giving out to him saying, you've just ruined Easter for everybody. I just thought it was really funny. No. Jingle All the Way too. No. No, no, no. Just no. Just no. Roman Reigns via satellite. Very, very, very scripted, I have to say. But, you know, he's coming back next month. My favourite thing had to be JBL asking him, did he enjoy his vacation? I love JBL. And then we had the whole backstage segment with John Cena. Again, Stephanie McMahon should really show John Cena how to act. He's terrible. I mean, I cannot get over how bad he is. Ziggler was brilliant. I might be a little bit biased. Ziggler was great, and the Big Show was great, I have to say. They were really, really good. Oh, yeah, I just think that Ziggler should get an Oscar. Ryback. Oh. No. There's no Ryback. And Eric Rowan with his whole, you know, they were like there, and Eric Rowan just goes, win. I just thought it was great. So next we had the Divas Championship match, which was a massive letdown. I mean, I'm delighted that Nikki won because of how much wrestling she has put in, and there, you know, I just think, you know, she does deserve a win, but the way she won was terrible. She got into the ring and the match lasted like 5 seconds, reminiscent quite of WrestleMania a couple of years ago when Daniel Bryan was only a couple of seconds. And how it was reminiscent was that Brie Bella got up and distracted AJ and then kissed her, and then Nikki just did the rack attack or whatever you call that, and that was it. I was looking forward to a great wrestling match between a girl who has really, really brought up her wrestling standards and AJ, who is the best diva in the company at the moment, and yeah, it just did not deliver. You know, I'm hoping that this was set up to a long-term feud between the two though, and you know what, the way that Brie was smiling, I hope that they then tie that into a whole, you know what, we were only pretending to hate one another, so that Nikki would get this chance, and Nikki won, and yeah, I'm just hoping that's the route they go. And then we had another video about the main event, because it's next. So the main event, let's see, you had Cena, Ziggler, Big Show, Eric Rowan and Ryback versus Team Authority, which was Kane, Mark Henry, Rusev, Luke Harper and Seth Rollins, accompanied by Joey Mercury, what's his face, Jamie Noble, that's him. When he appeared, I was like, oh, he looks really familiar. Oh yeah, it's Jamie Noble. And obviously Stephanie and Triple H. So the match started with, in one corner you had the Big Show, in the other corner you had Mark Henry. Mark Henry was doing this whole thing where he was going over and being psyched up by Triple H, and it was very, very, very obvious what was going to happen next, and douche, knockout punch, and Mark Henry's gone. So, you know, it went on like this. yeah, it went on like this. Ryback was the next to be eliminated. Sorry, now my hair's wet. Ryback was the next to be eliminated. He was eliminated by Rusev. Also, if Rusev loves Russia so much, why does he have a tattoo on his arm of Belarus with a Belarusian flag inside it? If he loves Russia, why does he have a Belarus tattoo? Yeah, it doesn't make sense. Then Rusev got his first loss. He was counted out because he put Dolph Ziggler on a table and then he went to dive in the table, but Dolph Ziggler rolled out of the way. So yeah. Next, Eric Rowan eliminated Luke Harper, which was surprising because they used to be tag team partners. And then the Big Show turned heel. He punched out John Cena. Well, he wasn't then. Things happened. It was moving. But he punched out, not John Cena. I thought it was brilliant. Sorry, I got that wrong. Eric Rowan was eliminated by Luke Harper, not the other way around, because John Cena then was eliminated by Luke Harper as well, and the Big Show just walked away. So we're left now with a situation where you have Kane, you have Luke Harper, and you have Seth Rollins versus the one and only Dolph Ziggler. So you're thinking the odds are stacked against him, and then you're thinking the odds are stacked against him, so he's gonna win. So I don't know how, it was just so fast. I got so into it that I forgot to take notes, but it happened so fast, and I just thought, like, you know, Stephanie's whole ha ha ha, she was so cocky, and it was just so funny. And Dolph Ziggler did what Dolph Ziggler does, and he just prevailed, and he bet, and it came down to just him and Seth Rollins, and he went to pin Seth Rollins, and Triple H interfered by pulling the referee out of the ring, and then another referee came out, and then he knocked him out, and then he was like, you know, he knocked out with a pedigree. I was waiting for a sledgehammer, by the way. He had no sledgehammer. I was let down. But he knocked out then the one and only Dolph Ziggler and laid over him. He laid over him with, he grabbed Seth Rollins and dragged him over him. And then Scott Armstrong returned, and I have never been so happy. I don't know why he's only a referee, but it was just like, oh my god, it's Scott Armstrong, and I was so happy for some stupid reason. I got really excited, and then I started crying because the best thing that has happened to wrestling since WCW disappeared happened, and that was... That's what I wrote. That's what I wrote. I actually started crying. My favourite wrestler of my entire childhood returned to wrestling, because I don't consider TNA wrestling. He returned to the WWE. He worked for Vince once, because Vince McMahon technically owned the WCW when they did their final match on WCW. So technically he worked for Vince McMahon once, but he never stepped inside a WWE ring, and I was so excited. And then he came out and the music, and he just, it was Sting. It was actually Sting. I was so happy. I've never been so happy in all of my life of wrestling. I was just so happy. I don't think I've said that enough. So he came out and he like walked down to the ring, and I have to say, he needs to hire whoever Vince McMahon has for his hair, because it was very bad. But he bet up Triple H and grabbed Dolph Ziggler and pulled him over and got a new referee, and they won, and Dolph Ziggler won, and it was all thanks to Sting, and I'm so happy because Sting is back, and I think that's it. So I hope you enjoyed my review. I might have become a little Sting heavy at the end. I have a question to ask everybody, so just one moment. Okay, so guess what I bought? Yeah, I bought Sting's Blu-ray, and I haven't opened it. The seal is still intact, and I don't know if I should open it, because that right there, not that one, that one, that's not Sting. That's fake Sting. WWE are aware that this happened, and they have recalled, they're not recalled, but they've reprinted all of the versions of it. And I don't know if I should open it or leave it in its plastic, because that become a collector's edition in years to come. But then on the other hand, I really want to watch it. So please, if you have some advice of what to do, leave it in its original packaging and keep it for posterity, and, you know, it'll become a collector's item. Or should I just open it and watch it? Let me know in the comments below. If you like it, please like, thumbs up, subscribe, and share this video. Thank you very much for watching my Survivor Series review. Sorry for it being so long, but you know, I managed to squash 3 hours into 20 minutes. So yeah, thanks very much everybody for watching, and I'll see you next time.